Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, can a DNA FNM coalition defeat the PLP? Pastors speak out on a controversial christening. And how about a cool mojito for the summer? Welcome to our news. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Bradley Roberts weighing in on the idea of a possible coalition between the Free National Movement and the Democratic National Alliance in an attempt to oust the PLP from office. He said, good luck, but it won't work. Simone Davis has the story.
Whether the FNM and the DNA are together or apart, they can't beat the PLP, says PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts, who dismissed suggestions that this strategy is all it would take to kick the PLP out of office.
I say show me rather than suggest it to me, because at the moment they're only moving in that direction. But we'll see what comes out in the end. But whether they're together or they're separate, we're going to beat them.
Roberts' comments came after his party ratified two more candidates for the 2017 general election. Minister of State for Finance Michael Halkitis, who was ratified for Golden Isles, says talks of a coalition just proves that the FNM and DNA were cut from the same cloth. Roberts agreed with Halkitis, stating that the two parties were always one and the same.
They're always one and the same, yes. It's just that Brownville wanted to be head-on through. And he went out there and he made an attempt, and he's continuing that. And I think therein lies the rub as to what, if they come together, where's Brownville going to be, on the top or the bottom?
Roberts said his party is not scared of a coalition, and he would be very surprised if the FNM and DNA can gain a decent amount of supporters using these tactics.
Go and have a look at what Brownville McCartney has done with his candidates so far and what the FNN have done. And if you see the kind of outpouring here, then, well, I'll be shocked and surprised.
Reporting for our news, I'm Simone Davis.
Thanks, Simone. Well, Golden Gates MP and Labor Minister Shane Gibson says before the PLP heads into convention this November, things would have already gotten much better for Bahamians. He was defending the government over criticism from DNA leader Bramwell McCarty that any party will be better than the PLP.
I'm telling you, things are falling in place. That's what I'm saying. And so I'm saying, as you will see, well, over the next couple of months, we have a program that will literally employ thousands of individuals who are not now employed. So I'm saying stay tuned and you'll hear exactly. We don't have to preempt it right now. When we get closer to that time, you'll know exactly what our plans are and what we're doing.
We're about a year or less from the next general election, and the government has had quite a few accomplishments as well as some shortfalls. There is the Bahamar project that government has been banking on to provide thousands of jobs for Bahamians and the promise to reduce crime. McCartney had questioned, with none of that achieved, what could the PLP possibly brag about at convention?
Once you see us roll out our platform in November and we speak about what we've done, you'll understand exactly what it is that will cause us to win the next election.
Gibson recently slammed McCartney for saying a DNA FNM coalition would be the PLP's worst nightmare. But Gibson laughed at it, saying the FNM has to get itself together first.
I don't want to get mixed up in that. Let them have their internal fight. When they finish, whoever they send, we will deal with them.
In terms of Golden Gates, your constituency, how are things looking there? Are you confident?
The Golden Gates is fine. I mean, Golden Gates is fine. I've always had a very good relationship with Golden Gates. I've been meeting with the constituents and the party officers and the candidates committee to determine the way forward. But, you know, Golden Gates is solid.
Last week, Sunday, tongues were sent wagging after a transgender woman, that is, a man in transition to a woman, stood godmother for a baby girl. The photo, which we will not use in our news, shows the godmother holding the child and went viral in just a matter of hours. It became the topic of discussion for days, even on radio talk shows, and now the pastors of the Save Our Bahamas campaign are weighing in.
There is an intentional desensitization of the things of God in our society. It is a known strategy of the gay community to desensitize people, to expose them to shock and awe. And the principle there is whatever we accept, we soon expect to see happen. And it reminds us of the signs of the times that we're living in. It's unfortunate that that has happened. Churches stand for value, they have standards, and I'm sure that church and that pastor would respond appropriately.
I think that in the days in which we're living, I think it's a sign to certainly those of us who take a principled stand that we ought to be vigilant in situations like this. You know, it's a situation in which a pastor has no control over who enters his church. And we welcome transgenders to come to church to hear the gospel preached, all right, so that they could understand that the lifestyle that they've chosen is totally contrary to Scripture and to God's desire and will for their lives.
The pastors are currently campaigning for a no vote to question 4 on the upcoming constitutional referendum. They fear a yes vote would open the door to same-sex marriage. Since then, the transgender community has come out demanding equal rights and respect. Moxie said what happened with that christening is wrong and that churches must no longer put their head in the sand and pretend as if these things aren't happening in the Bahamas.
It just goes to show that we must, the battle that we face is a very real battle. It's, you know, we cannot pretend as though this stuff is not happening around us, and for that reason, we must continue to stand on principled positions and allow our voices to be heard. There's definitely a lack of respect for God and the values that we espouse as a nation. Hence the reason why our voices must be all the more clear in these days and times. The dividing line between black and white is being diminished. So we have a lot of gray in there, but it's the voice of the church that speaks with such great clarity to say, this is wrong and this is right.
Well, we're getting closer and closer to summer, and while it's getting pretty hot outside, who doesn't need a drink to keep them cool, right? Well, this week I got a crash course on how to make a perfect summer drink, the mojito. Take a look. Okay, we're here with Ali at Outback Steakhouse. Ali, what are we making today?
Are we gonna make a classic mojito? You're gonna make a classic mojito.
I am.
And I'll make a strawberry mojito.
And I'm gonna drink it.
Yes.
Alrighty, so what's the first thing that we do to make the classic mojito and the strawberry mojito?
Okay, first you get some fruit, some mint leaves. You got our mint leaves right there.
Mint leaves and lime, the main ingredients in a mojito. How much? How
Yeah,
many?
like 6. Uh-huh. 4.
Kind of long.
Yeah, 5.
That's
6.
like
5 ounce sugar.
Sugar?
No, this is actually mojito syrup.
Okay.
5 ounce. Hold on, you're supposed to be making this, right?
Yeah, but you have.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
So,
Now you're gonna start mulling.
I crush it.
Yeah. Gotta mull it.
Put this in there.
Yeah, that's the exciting part about it.
Oh shit! Like that?
Yeah.
Takes some effort.
Yeah. I'm putting you to work. Okay, that's enough.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to like
this
grind
is
it,
like
grind
the
it.
full part, fun part.
Uh-huh.
So you press this down. So, this part, 1.5 ounce sugar.
This is Bacardi.
Yes,
Hey.
the fun stuff.
1.5 ounces.
Yeah. Throw that in. All right.
Then we add some ice. Shake it up a bit.
Got it?
Bacardi become a sugar.
Okay. Spin it over. That's fine. Throw it all in.
That's the drink?
Yeah, see the juices? Now, come back over here. Get our club soda. Top it off.
Then our garnished mint at the top.
Voila.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's the classic mojito?
That's the classic
And I made it?
Yes.
Boom!
High five.
Alrighty.
All right. Awesome.
I can quit my day job, man.
But then you'd be taking like some of my tips.
Taking your
Like
job?
your bottle.
Ali then made one the ladies should love, a strawberry mojito. Similar instructions, just added strawberry to the crushed mixture. So, we done here. We got our drinks for the summer. This is our classic mojito, strawberry mojito. You want to grab that one?
Yes.
Thank you. Cheers to a good summer.
Yeah, cheers to a good summer.
Alrighty.
All right.
Mojito.